Good morning. Welcome to another morning broadcast. If this is your first time, we meet Monday through Friday to discuss my game plan for the day. We talk about hot topics. We discuss catalysts. We discuss the best stocks to trade for the day, as well as to look out for the entire week. Please like, subscribe, and share to support the stream, and drop your comments, your questions, and interact with me. I'll be watching the chat so that we can get to know each other a little bit more, as well as I can find out what it is that you're looking at as well. We can look at things together, all right? I use a strategy that requires me to identify momentum stocks, highly volatile stocks. So I'll be looking for the craziest moves, the craziest gainers, the largest gainers, gappers, gap down losers, so that I can catch the momentum. And I'm primarily scalper, intraday trader, but I do take some swings as well. So we start off by jumping into the big picture, overall macro view. And yesterday we discussed the gap down that we saw on indices. And this is primarily related to DeepSeek. DeepSeek is China's version of OpenAI, right? ChatGPT. And this has caused its announcement, its unveiling has caused a ripple effect throughout the market. So we saw a massive move to the downside on the tech sector, NVDA, SMCI, TSM, and others. So yesterday I talked about how we could look for a potential bounce. This move here took us about 7 days, but that was erased all within 1 day. And there's still a lot of uncertainty around what's going to happen with DeepSeek. Sam from OpenAI came out. NVIDIA, there's a lot of speculation around if DeepSeek used NVIDIA's chips, right? So many people are coming out commenting on what's happening. But what was obvious for me was that we could potentially have a bounce, at least a temporary one, right? So we're gonna see what happens now if we are going to recover some of the ground that we lost. Some of this is just natural, right? Natural profit taking because of us reaching all-time highs, and then we have the news catalyst that came out, right? So if you look at NVIDIA, you'll see the gap down here. Look at SMCI, we see the gap down, right? Here, a lot of the tech companies, we'll see a gap on those companies. So one of the plays I'll be looking for is potential mean reversion on some of these. And then on the flip side, though, some of the companies that are integrating DeepSeek, like JG, this one rolls over 250%, right? So this is a play that I'll be keeping an eye on. And there's a few others. So we'll discuss those today. All right, so that's it for indices. We talked about overall play. Actually, US 30 dipped, and then it had a full recovery yesterday, right? IWM dipped, and then we had a huge spike up and then a drop, right? So it's a lot. Yesterday was booming. A lot of volatility, a lot of opportunity to take advantage of. So these are the times where we want to get busy, be focused, and get active. All right. So let's talk about some stocks, some tickers that have fresh news. So GM came out with solid earnings. So we're seeing some volatility here on GM. I want to circle back after the market opens to see what kind of volume we have and price action. So GM is one that came out with earnings. As I mentioned before, I really like the earnings plays because when there's solid earnings, we typically see a really nice move. Yesterday we talked about AT&T, so I'm looking for a second day play. We traded AT&T together in the ProfitX community. So we had AT&T start to push on earnings, and then out of the gate we had a massive push up, pullback, and some opportunity to enter, and then it almost surpassed the initial high, and it just fizzled out a little bit, but it's held up. So I'm going to be looking at AT&T today, second day play. A lot of times we'll have earnings, and then the next day it's either going to give shorts or it could potentially continue higher. All right. Another one that's interesting is ZKIN. This one has a lot of volume, high volume. So this one had reported results. I typically don't trade stocks under $1, but right now this high float turnover. So I want to see if we had some initially, like in the pre-market, there was some pops, and then price dropped and popped up, and it's just been holding here at around $1, this level. I want to see if we push up, price pushes at the open, and we have a run there, which can be which can offer a good opportunity for us to trade. Good morning, Abdullah. What would the DeepSeek, the development of DeepSeek affect HK50? I haven't checked HK50. I'll check it in just a minute, but I would assume that it would. We're seeing a surge in a few of the stocks that are related, so I would assume that HK50 can be impacted, especially by those companies that are integrating DeepSeek. All right, another one is JetBlue. So they had weak earnings, strong move to the downside. So those that are shorting at the open, if the volume is there, that could be a potential move, or we could be looking for a bounce, right? So this could be a mean reversion play. I love these moves. These are the moves like when we have major gaps up, gaps down, and a lot of volume running into flowing into that stock, a lot of participation. These are the moves that I love. All right, so one that I caught this morning pre-market is TRIB. This one, it's a biotech company, and they announced disruptive results. Yeah, I see SXL in right now, SLX in. I was just right before the call trying to get an entry here on this momentum play, but I had to jump on here. So we'll see. This I'll cover it in just a minute. So this one ran up, really good float turnover. We'll be looking at it, looking to trade it. So this one, SLXN, is just running up on the scanner, up 100% right now. So actually, this one, it gave a pullback, a little micro pullback for an entry higher. So we're going to see if price is going to continue or if we get another pullback. But this one is one to engage. Okay. All right. On the fresh list, I was looking at IMAC Holdings, but I'm just going to, it dived. It took a dive there. All right. So let me just run through a few more. So let's see. Let me check the chat. Afternoon, all from Sunny. SA and UK, from the UK. What broker do you use to day trade stocks? So if you're in the US, a great broker to use if you're just starting is Schwab. There's a lot of nice quality brokers. Lightspeed is a great one. Centerpoint is a great one. Cobra Trading is a good one. But if you're just starting, like Schwab, no commission broker if you're in the US. If you're not, Interactive Brokers is a good broker as well. I use different brokers for my main account and for the challenge account. For the challenge account, I have that small account. I'm using a broker called CM Capital Markets Elite Group. All right, so let's see. All right, yesterday it was hot. All right, Mara yesterday. So Mara is in play for us because of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin starts to heat up, as I mentioned, we start to trade the equity related stocks. So with Mara gave us some buys, and this resistance, this arrow is here because I was looking for this level to break. Because Mara had been in a range, it rose up, gap down with the DeepSeek news on that day and some of the quantum names, and it pushed up. And I was looking for, we took some buys here between these levels. It dipped and then it started buying up. But I was looking for another buy after the $19 area here was broken. So it pushes and then it fails and then becomes a short here. And then now, I mean, it's super clean price action here. So there may be another short, especially if it pushes and fails to the upside, follow through, then we may be looking at a downside move. So, or if it does break here, we may have a move. So I'll be looking, I don't like Robinhood, no, because I'll explain in another video why Robinhood may not be the best for day trade, like active day traders. Maybe for certain traders, but not for active day traders. Even though there's no commissions, the slippage, execution is not. They don't have good execution comparable to some of the other brokers that I mentioned. So what you get by ease and convenience, you trade that for execution and fills. All right. So I'll have to do a video on that. Another one, YIBO. This one ran up 600% almost yesterday. Then it dropped. And what I like about it is that it's holding up now. So in this scenario, you could have something called a liquidity trap shaping up where the shorts that may have been holding will get trapped here. And when they start to cover, they start to close those positions. They'll turn into buys and drive price up. So if I'm looking, I'm closely watching this level. I'm setting alarms here because we may have another run up. It's either going to short from here, but the way that it's shaping up, there could potentially be more buys. Okay. All right. Now, can't forget about the quantum names. RGTI, IONQ. All of those names. Yesterday we were buying. We bought because there was a break of this level. Similar to Mara, we had the dip. It was sitting below resistance, and actually it broke through. So we got on board, right, with the buy. Let me show the 5-minute. Right, so it was struggling, and then it broke. So we got on board just for a quick scout, and then price fizzled out. So looking for price to come back up and maybe short again, but it's showing some strength here. So we'll see. We'll see what we do today. All right. So in that basket, IONQ is also there, right? IONQ and the others that we've been mentioning for the past week or so. What about paper trade stocks? What's the easiest way to start there? The easiest way to start there, one, I think TradingView is probably the easiest way. You can use the paper trading account in TradingView. You can pay for the stock data. It's relatively cheap. Another way, and that's, if you're U.S. or non-U.S., that works out for most people. So I start there. If that doesn't work, then drop me a comment on this video and we'll talk about it. All right, let's go. What else are y'all looking at? I have a few more stocks to cover. I'm just going back and forth here from looking at the scan. When I specialize in trading options on SPY, obviously. I have a strong opinion about trading one instrument. What I want, and I'll drop a link for you. But in short, if you notice, all of the stocks I've shared here, they have similar moves. They have asymmetrical skew, right? They all look alike. So instead of me just trading SPY every day, which will be in the range at times for months or just weeks. I like to look for and trade stocks that have my setups. That's all I do. So instead of trying to master one ticker and trade through some of the times when those are not predictable for me or less predictable, these times here, like we see, a lot of choppy movements. In my opinion, this is just for me. Everybody has a different perspective, and it's okay. But instead of me trading these days, I'm just looking for this every day. I'm looking for the stocks that are going to be running up. Then I can just apply my same setups that I've mastered to those stocks. So that's basically what I'm doing. So there's a higher level of predictability for me in Catalyst and with volume, like unusual volume. Okay, but so I hope that makes sense or somewhat. All right, let's go. Oh, BKSY, yeah, BKSY. Last one with the catalyst. Okay, so BKSY, if you look at the daily, has it's broken out of it's like 2 month range here, and they had a report. It's $100 million space-based monitoring contract. So in this case here, like this is a perfect case. So BKSY was just ranging here, but once we have a catalyst, there's a traceable reason for the move. That's one. Second is you're going to see more volume, right? So I can look at stocks now, even though the price action may be nice, and I can tell which stock has higher EV, like which pattern has higher EV, because one has more volume than the other, right? Because higher relative volume will, it's likely to determine that there's more interest, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking for the stocks that have catalysts and higher volume pretty much. And those typically, that gives me a higher win rate, and it deals me a lot more hands to trade. So those days when I used to just be sitting on my hand trading indices, now I have like 3 to 5 opportunities almost every day. All right. So, okay. Lastly, energy. Let's do it. All right. So energy names sold off hard yesterday. OKLO sold, SMR, NNE, that whole entire basket. So there may be another short here for those that are shorting or a recovery. But that basket sold off. Okay. And then lastly, I would take a look at all of the stock names all of the like tech names that took a dive. NVDA, RGTI, all of those, right? So I'll be taking a look to see if we have the right side of the V, right? That's what everybody's expecting. Everybody's looking for the right side of the V. Want to see if we're going to turn. And if we do turn, we have a lot of potential upside. Okay. All right. So yes, EV is expected value. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate you. Just dropping a little bit more, just elaborating for me. Okay. If you can afford the apples, of the world, this dropped and Apple just turned, right? So, there's a lot of upside there. Okay. All right. So let's do it. Have you heard of Trade Nation Brokers? Also, what's your thoughts on trading live direct on TradingView? As I know you use DAS for entry. In my opinion, TradingView doesn't have hotkeys unless you can connect your hotkeys. Hotkeys will allow us to enter and exit in seconds, like in a second. So if you have to use the mouse, you can lose out on thousands, especially if you are if you're not using hotkeys every day. And let's say you lose 30, 40, 50 cents because you have to use the mouse to set up your entries. Over a few weeks, not even months, you'll lose out on thousands of dollars. So in the beginning, while you are getting some practical experience, what I like to do is it say, yes, go ahead and use TradingView. But at a certain point, for me, got to switch over. Got to switch over, okay? All right, hey, Abdullah, are you trading live today? Yes, I trade live in the ProfitX community. We have live sessions every day. And yes, approved, I appreciate that. 60 people watching, only 16 likes. Let's get the likes up. Yes, thanks. Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, so we have about 8 minutes until the market opens. I'm reading the chat. Let me know if you have any more questions or if you want me to take a look at any other stocks before we jump off. Let me know if you have any more questions. Hopefully yesterday was like, today is like yesterday. We had a lot of volatility. Great day yesterday. All right, if no more questions, we will go ahead and end the stream. NVIDIA, yeah, I talked about it. NVIDIA, looking for a potential bounce. It sold off yesterday. So just gonna play versus yesterday's range, right? So sold off yesterday, and we'll see if we do get a break above, we could potentially go long. Play level to level, basically move to move on NVIDIA. Or if it bounces, it could be a short from there, right? So basically want to play any upside chance for it, IWM. Potentially, yeah. Potentially. All right. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Thanks, everybody. Bye.